They said we're live.
Hello, hello. We are live.
Hi, YouTube. I'm Kel McFarlane.
I'm Rhoda from Crypt Keepers Haunts, and that's Kel from Crypt Keepers Haunts.
I'm their local psychic medium.
Rhoda from Crypt Keepers Haunts, and that's Kel. Oh, let me turn this down.
I'm their local psychic medium.
Rhoda from Crypt Keepers Haunts. Okay.
We are going to talk about the Watts case. I'm going to give a warning here. I am not going to contact Shanann or the kids because that's disrespectful for the family. We're just going to talk about the paranormal EVPs that was caught on the documentary of Netflix.
Yes. We'll give it a few minutes and let some people come in here. It's showing that I'm live. Well, I'm under my other name, so it's showing that I'm in here.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll give it a few minutes so people will come in and we'll refresh it again. We'll tell them again what we're doing.
Well,
that way no one gets misunderstood or misled. You know what I mean?
I will say that again once other people be in here. I'll even say it again. But
yeah,
this is just to discuss the paranormal stuff that was caught on the
Netflix movie or documentary,
and because we're not the only paranormal investigators that caught this stuff.
No, and I had watched some of what other people that's not even paranormal investigators, things that they've caught.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think like Dr. Phil was talking about it too.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah, I want to get some people in here because I want to know their thoughts. Did they watch it? Did they hear what we've caught on the film? And
yeah, I need to tell Zach we're live. So give me a moment. Come on, stupid thing. Tablet's not wanting to communicate.
Yeah, mine's wanting that wonky tonight too. Dang it. Go back.
We are live, Zach. Come and join.
Yeah, I was tickled to download that. Oh my God, my mind's going like scrambled eggs right now. Discovery Channel Plus.
Discovery Plus.
Yes, I love that.
You should watch the.
Hello, Phoenix. How are you tonight, love?
Hi, Phoenix. I'm sitting here brushing my hair because it just soothes me.
Oh, she said, what are we talking about? We're going to talk about our opinion on what we caught the paranormal part of the Watts case. Are you familiar with that, Phoenix?
Chris Watts, Shanann, Boulder. Why does everything happen in Boulder, Colorado?
I don't know, Kel. It's crazy.
Because that's where I just put something together in my head.
Kimmy's in here.
Hi, Kimmy. I just realized that the I can't think now.
Kimberly is my daughter, everyone.
That's my niece.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. Oh no.
Oh, the JonBenet Ramsey case happened in Boulder, didn't it?
I'm not sure where that happened at.
I know it was Colorado.
She says she's my best looking daughter. I've got 4 beautiful daughters. She's my best kid. She's my best youngest daughter.
Kimmy has the style like her Aunt Kel here likes her hair every different color under the sun and tattoos and all that stuff.
Yeah, she likes her tattoos and her different color hair, that's for sure.
But right now I'm just rocking the platinum.
I like it. I think it looks good. What the heck is up with this?
So Phoenix, did Phoenix actually reply back?
Phoenix, yeah, she says she is. She's familiar with it.
Okay, we're talking about the documentary and how there was EVPs and sightings of ghostly activity surrounding the Watts case. We want people's take and thoughts and opinions on it. So we're just having a basic discussion tonight because I don't feel like contacting spirit today, but I wouldn't mind doing a paranormal conversation.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Kel said that my spirit box, when I've got it on, drives her crazy because she's already hearing them yak in her ear, and she says it's like going, whoa, 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 whoa.
It's kind of like when you call a radio station and then you hear reverb, you hear yourself, and it sounds like, when you put a microphone too close to the speaker.
Right.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Like it was the other night when I had my TV coming through, and
yeah,
that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, concerning that, like I said, when they first brought the dog in, and they started to go through the house, you know how proud she was of that house anyway. You could hear her say, "No." Like, no, don't bring that dog in here on my carpet,
Well, she had 2 dogs too, and they were still in the house.
But you gotta think. She sees an outside dog. She don't want other dogs coming in her house,
Or was she just going, oh no, because there are a whole bunch of people were in her house?
It could have been that too. Yeah, could have been that too.
Like stomping on her tracks.
Yeah, and especially when the dog went in. Was that her office that they went into in that closet? Where that dog picked up on the little girl, and the police even heard the little girl giggle.
I think it was one of the kids' closets, to be honest. One of their.
Phoenix said she still has issues with mustaches, no joke.
Yeah.
Well, because of Jerk, if you notice my thumbnail, Phoenix, I put a big L on his face for loser. Because anybody that can do something that heinous and disgusting to their family.
OJ did it, but we're not talking about OJ. I might discuss some paranormal stuff around him later, but I just thought another thing that caught my attention on this whole case was I was watching how they took her her Facebook live videos and stuff because she lived on Facebook, like we all do.
Yeah, but you could that's what bothered me when people, I'm not even gonna say that jerk's name. We're just gonna say the loser, okay? Because his name doesn't deserve to be recognized for what he did. When they was interrogating him and he's listening to them, they're trying to get it out of him, and she's like, well, did Shanann do it? And he's thinking, oh wow, there's somebody I can blame it on.
What his face like you could tell what he was thinking. And what got me was when they're in the house and he's like, well, here's her wedding ring. It's just laying on the counter, and here's her phone. Like, you could hear her voice go, Chris.
Yeah.
Like, it was like she was like, going whap,
Yeah.
And then, like, the neighbor going, he's not acting right. Even
and that came through while he was standing there checking the neighbor's camera footage. The thing, the clips that came on of the skull,
Over
the
the
baby, the little fetus, and then the oil tanks blowing up. She was trying to show him, you're not going to get away with this. This is what you did to us, you know?
Yeah.
That was crazy. I'm like, wow. And he knew it. When he saw that, did you see the look on his face like, oh my God?
Yeah, he looked absolutely mortified. Like, he walked into the neighbor's house and he looked like he was paranoid, like he's going back. He wasn't acting right. Like, I don't even know, like, didn't know him personally, but it just seemed like his mannerisms, because I'm an enthusiast with crime shows or
Right.
stuff. And my dad's best friend was in the CID, and I've had friends in the FBI, so I've always been into the crime part, and then I just put the paranormal stuff with it. And
Kimmy says his daughters and his wife is without any doubt still there.
oh, they're in
Any
the
more
house.
than anything, I feel like his wife's energy did come through and she's pissed. I hope she haunts him. Kimmy, she probably did. Well, he said that he sees the little girls, they come and see him, and all he hears is his little girl saying, "No, Daddy." I
That was
mean,
the
that's
last
what the
thing.
last words he heard her say before he took her life.
Yeah, he's a
And she
monster.
asked him, "Are you going to do the same to me that you just did to CC?" And he said, "Me being evil at the time, I said yes, and then I did it." And she's like, "No, Daddy." I
Yeah.
mean, how could he even went on the way he did, trying to lie about it, trying to get out of what he did, thinking that him and that Jezebel he was with was going to have a happy life. Sorry.
Well, being
I'm trying to be nice here. I could call her some other things, but
yeah, it's like, did you see, like, I watched the part of the documentary where one of the neighbors said they saw a woman going into the back door, and
yes. And then when the cop even saw her, I believe with all my heart, he saw her when he went in because you seen step back and he said, "Whoa."
I think he kind of already knew it was her spirit, but cops aren't going to admit some of that stuff. And
I've got some clips. I don't know if I can bring them up on here or not. Maybe, probably not. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. But I've got some clips where I caught the little girl at the same time they're in the house looking.
you could
I
see,
caught the
like,
little girl. One of the little girls running down the stairs.
like you could see her, like running past the cop and then when they're looking towards the kitchen where all the furniture's at, because like nothing was taken out of that house, it still looked the same. You saw like a little other figure, and then a mother, like in the kitchen. You could see like them moving around, and the cop was
No, I
just like,
haven't seen it.
what?
Phoenix asked, "Have you guys checked out Garrett Van Shake? He does a video on Watts." No, but I will check him out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that interests me. If I like to see what everybody else has caught.
Or what they
I
put
know
down.
for me and Kel, we've caught a lot of EPs and her whispering and you
It's
hear, you hear the little girl in that closet. Was the only time that I picked up on the kid, and I think that was CC.
yeah, because
But
it
you hear
sounded.
Shanann through the video saying different things, just like in the basement when the cop was looking at those tubs. She's like, "Wow, look at all this stuff. What are they going to do with all this stuff?"
And I caught like another thing,
2 and 4, Kimmy.
um when and I don't know, something was telling me when I first started watching this that I was like, there's spirits there. I'm going to see something. Like, I normally don't do that when I watch a documentary on something, but something
Yeah.
was telling me just to pay attention. And when the cop's going, police, blah, 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 and you hear the dog barking and they're looking through the little window, I'm like expecting something to walk out or someone.
Yeah.
But you don't see it. And then when they walk in, you can hear say, oh no, you know, and it just blows my mind. Still does. It gives me cold
Yeah,
chills.
that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had asked her mother, because her mother said when he did that to her daughter, she felt it and it woke her up, and she even got her son Frankie up and told him, something's wrong with your sister. I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were 2 and 4, Phoenix.
Yeah. And the baby was like, I think a few, like 6 weeks along. I want to say maybe a little more than that. She
I'm
didn't
not
know
sure
what
how.
it was yet.
No, they knew that it was a boy when she had it, because when they found her, the baby had came out and it was laying there half out of her.
I didn't know
I've
that.
looked up, yeah, oh honey, I've been looking up on all this stuff, and that's why I'm so sickened with that dirty dog, what he did to her.
She had a miscarriage after she died then, didn't she?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Um, but anyway, the mother said that she had woke her son and her husband up and told them, something's wrong with your sister. I just felt her. She came to me. And she said when she woke up, all she heard was, shit.
Mm-hmm. And then when they found the kid's body, like I was watching the Dr. Phil thing when she was telling Dr. Phil that their spirits came to her when they found the kids.
Trey, Kimmy's boyfriend, Austin's on here too.
Hi, Austin.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm gonna tell you. Anyway, when that stuff happened, Dr. Phil said, so you actually felt your daughter come to you, and she said yes. And then when they found out that she had passed right around that time, can you imagine how blown away she had to feel, knowing that there was nothing she could do to help her kid?
Yeah. But it's
We
like you
got a
could
private
tell.
message on who it's from. I'm here, but Nikki's in the shower, so no peeking like that one.
Who's
Is that
that?
Nick? Is that Zach? Yeah, it is Zach.
Yeah. So he's just listening.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay, Zach, no peeking.
yeah.
Okay.
But it seemed like Dr. Phil even I didn't think he would actually believe in the paranormal, but his reaction to her statement, like his face said everything. Like him as a parent, he got it. Himself.
Yeah, Phoenix, I agree. She said there's got to be some celestial guardians to help them realize what to them.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that she's happy and she's at peace and
She did tell her mother that she was okay, that they was okay.
yeah.
But
So
the sad thing is that woman loved life, and she loved her children, and
and she,
she, sad thing is she loved her husband very much.
even though he
And
didn't love her,
for him to be that selfish.
and he didn't love her, and he listened to what his disgusting mother said.
Well, not only that, he even said in letters that he's writing to this lady that's doing videos on him that he had the Jezebel in his ear, pushing him along the whole way. When he'd went to go, to North Carolina to be with Shannon and the kids, she's like, I want you to figure out things with your wife. Well, he took it as that she was telling him, I want you to see if you can, straighten things out with your wife. And then when she calls him, he's like, I can't talk to you. What happened to who? The kids? Phoenix. He killed his wife and smothered his kids and threw his kids down in oil tanks.
Well, the kids were alive when they went in the old tank.
Well, he's saying that they wasn't, that he smothered them to death. They was alive. He tried to kill them twice. Once he smothered them in the bed, and then that didn't kill them. What's her name? Not Cece, the other one.
Zoe?
No, it wasn't Zoe. It was another name. Oh my God. I can't think that kid's name now. The oldest kid came in the bedroom when he was killing Shannon and said, "What are you doing to mommy?" Or no, he had done killed her. And she said, "What are you doing? Is mommy okay?" He said, "No, mommy don't feel good." Well, he took her back to her room, and then he said he progressed wrapping Shannon up in the sheet and carried her down the stairs to where he was taking her out to put her in his truck. And that's where Miss Thing was at. Oh, that's another thing. Hello, Southern Belle. That's another thing, guys. Her mother went back and was looking at the video where he was back in his truck in that garage.
Mm-hmm.
She said she knew something was up with it. Another person had spotted an orb circling around that truck after he put her body in the floorboard of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the orb coming out and flying around the back of the bed of the truck. Her mother said she knew that woman was there. She went back frame for frame.
Found her.
And was looking at that video and found that woman coming out right as he's putting that. It's in with a millisecond. You got to stop the video so you can see her.
Yeah, even the
You can
cops
see the
caught
little
this.
girl.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she took it to the cops. I really do, because that old witch needs to be in jail right along with him.
Because you saw a ponytail.
Yes, and you can
And a
see her
bob cut.
purse hanging up her shoulder. The little girl, the oldest daughter, had came out, was trying to fix to walk out to the truck, and she's shoving her back in the garage. You can see her shoving her back in the garage. I said, everybody said that girl was there. Why is the cops not listening to this? Why are they not looking at this video?
I think they are now. I mean,
Exactly, Phoenix. No, his side piece didn't want to deal with the kids, because if you remember when they was interrogating her, the cop is like, "Well, why did you delete everything off your phone? Because we're still gonna be able to find it." She's like, "Well, because when I found out that he was married, he had told me that he had kids, and I just didn't even want any part of that." He's like, "So you really didn't want anything to do with the kids, right?" She's like, "No. When he told me they had kids, I thought that was cute, and I thought, bitch, please."
no, she did. She seemed like she didn't want anything to do with.
No, and then when she found out that Shannon was pregnant, she got mad about that. That's what he told a lady in a letter, that when she found out that Shannon was pregnant, it made her mad because Chris was supposed to, walked away from that family, and they're supposed to started one on their own. This lady was looking up how much Scott Peterson got, or Scott Peterson's girlfriend got, when Scott Peterson went to prison for killing his wife.
Mm-hmm.
She was looking up wedding dresses. She had searched Shannon's name. I mean, why would she be doing all that if she didn't have intentions? And he says that, since he's found out she's moving on with her life, that there's some things he's got to tell because he's tired of living with it. Well, he was all gung ho protecting her when all that shit started happening.
Yeah, it's like you hear like her in the interrogation room where she was going to testify against him, and you could see that
She was there in the house, Kimmy. The night he did that to her, she was there in that house.
Yeah, it was on the video.
Yeah.
But like when they were interrogating her, you could see that she was nervous, and she's like she was afraid that he'd throw her under the bus. You could tell. But he didn't at that time.
Yeah, no. And that's what she was scared to death about. And the cop is like, "Well, we've got to look at a few things." And she's like, "Well, how long is it going to take you to find out this information? And what all are you going to be looking for? What does she care? If she had nothing to hide, why was she scared of what they was going to find?" And then they was asking her, well, how many times had you been to the Watts house? Well, I just went that one day on 4th of July and I pet the dogs, but Loser said himself that when she came there and she went, walking around the house looking at everything, that she came back with a different attitude and they got into it and she went out in the truck and sat for 2 hours pouting because she had seen the pictures that they had taken in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, this lady.
Narcissist. And he was a narcissist. The Loser's a narcissist. I mean, he had his mother also in his ear going, I don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
And it just still makes me sick because I keep thinking about like the EVPs, like her going, Chris. Like,
yeah. Or the dog, walking in that closet and the little girl, it's almost like she was happy. Yeah, she was happy to see the dog and she was laughing about it. Even for the cops to hear that.
Yeah, the cop's like, was that a toy?
Yeah.
And then
there was no toys in that house.
And then well, there was, but not in that closet. But
right, not in that closet, exactly.
But to have them look around and didn't see anything that would make that kind of noise, it kind of they thought that the kid was in the house, so they searched the whole house.
Right. Now they was what I seen was little coloring books and stuff like that in the closet, but I didn't see. The cop looked. I didn't see any toys that would have made that sound. Mm-hmm. And from going back and watching the videos that Shannon had posted, like Kel said, her life was on Facebook. You could see all kinds of videos she made of the kids laughing, and that laugh came from Cece.
The last time I looked up Shanann's Facebook, it was memorialized, but you couldn't post anything really on it unless you were her friend because her family closed it.
I agree, Phoenix. Phoenix says, I believe she was there to help. Remember, pregnant women are a little bit stronger than usual, and she's fighting for her life. Trash Boy Watts needed help. Yes, he did need help. And this idiot is fighting for a new trial? Really?
Do you know, I think he's also bipolar and has some some mental issues?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think he's just downright possessed.
Well, I wouldn't call it possessed in that sense.
Oh, remember what he said? I don't know why I did what I did. I had a beautiful family. I had no control over it. I couldn't stop myself.
It's because he might even have a multiple personality disorder, but I don't think he was possessed by anything.
Yeah, Phoenix. I don't know, Carol. I believe he might have been.
Well, that's just my feeling because I just feel like he has some mental issues.
Yeah, that along with it.
Yeah.
But he knows, and they even asked him. Well, he even said I was on mouth that day before she came home that night when he was playing with the kids and feeding them their dinner. He said, I was thinking to myself, this is going to be the last time I watch my kids eat or I play a game with them or even tuck them in bed. He already had plans on doing that.
Yeah, it was premeditated. Crazy. There's a lot of monsters in this world.
Then you got these girls out here that's writing him letters. Oh, I believe you. I believe she did that. No, she didn't do that. He grabbed on to what the detective said when she's just trying to get him to admit anything. And then she's like, well, did Shannon do it? And then when his dad comes in there, he brings up the big elaborate story. Well, I saw her choking one of the kids, and I just went ballistic, and I lost it, and I hurt her.
Do you know that made me mad when he was like,
I'm like, dude, they see right through you. That's what their job is. Mm-hmm. They knew it was him from the get-go.
Like, I mean, the neighbor saying he's acting strange, watch him. I mean, even the cop at first was like, yeah, but maybe he's just grieving. But I think that cop was even like, well, you
Well,
know.
do you remember when they was standing in the upper part upstairs and that cop acted like he was radioing in? He did that to see what his reaction was going to be, and he gave him the reaction that he wanted. He instantly turned around with a startled look on his face like, oh my God, they're fixing to arrest me. And then when he seen that the cop was, telling him it was some kind of call he was on, it was like a sense of relief.
Yeah. But then they went ahead and arrested him. And do you know they were like, the house was,
Yes.
not even like paid off yet.
Oh, I didn't know that. The house wasn't paid off?
They were still paying on it. So it went back to the
Wow.
bank, but now the bank can't.
That's what I said, Southern Belle. Sound like a demon. I said, I believe he was like, but it could have been both things, like Kel said. He was bipolar. He was just dark and demonic. His mom raised a monster. And for her to condone the stuff he did, to even say when they was sentencing him, well, yes, Chris had to kill Shanann because of what she did, but he did not kill his daughters. I
Yeah.
told Kel earlier, I said, if that would have been me in that courtroom, I'd have probably went to jail for decking that lady right in her face after court was over.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how her family felt having to sit there and listen to all that garbage?
Yeah, I know, right?
And they've been getting threatening phone calls, threatening their lives for what? Those people did nothing wrong. Not nothing.
Do you know that also
No, he was still working on his job because that's one of the things he was worried about, Phoenix, was, the cops having to call his job and ask questions about where he was before he owned up that he had taken the bodies out to the work site.
yeah, like,
But yeah, he lost it after that for sure.
here's the stupid thing, and this is just it's like when people premeditate things, they don't think fully. Why would he take them to his work site? I mean, hello?
Right.
Like,
What was the reason for, I mean, why couldn't, just like Dr. Phil said, why couldn't he just got a divorce and went on about his way, Because he didn't want to have to worry about alimony. He didn't want to have to worry about child support for 3 kids.
nope. Or
And so
a
he's
house
like,
that
well,
still needed paid for.
yeah.
And
And
that
for that
house,
stupid,
for some reason, the house is still on the market.
yeah, there's nobody going to buy that house knowing what tragedies. I mean, if they did, it would be somebody that wanted to buy it for that reason, for the paranormal. But who could, I mean,
I honestly, I don't believe that Shanann is in that house anymore. I think she's with her mom.
she might be, I don't know. They've been a few people go and do videos on that house, and there's one guy that has you can see a little kid looking out the window through his thermal imaging camera, and then you can see a woman come walking in the room, and she's got her hand on the little girl on the kid's shoulder. It's what it looks like. So that might have been Shanann and Bella. Bella was her name.
Yeah.
But
You know,
either, yeah, money's all it was about. Money and being with his little Jezebel.
I wonder if his mother really liked the Jezebel better.
Mm.
I mean,
Probably so, with her being right along with, down on everything that Shanann did when she didn't even know that woman. All she knew is what she was told by him.
yeah,
And for anybody, if she had common sense, she could have went on that woman, and I'm sure she did go on her Facebook, stalking her, watching her videos, and you can see how much she loved her family.
yeah, and that's probably made the Jezebel mad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I, I'm praying and hoping. Her mom had thanked me. I was on Mommy Ramblings, and she's been following this case for a long time. And she had Shannon's mom come on there doing a live on Shannon's birthday. I think it's about a week or two ago. And everybody, I told her, I said, I'm so sorry for what your family's having to go through because of what that monster did. And she was thanking everybody. She said if it hadn't been for people's support, they've got a lot of good and bad support. But I didn't want to just come out and say, hey, ask questions about that stuff because I know this is a touchy subject to them. But I pray to God she turned that in, what she found on that video.
I mean, it wasn't even her, like not only did her mom see that video like that, but I kind of slowed down or paused it on the TV.
Yeah, that's what I was pausing each frame of it because
Mhm.
you got to catch it really fast, and if you'll pause it when you're going through it, you'll be able to see Bella come out from just that little slice of her. You can see her, and then you can see that witch turn around and squatting down and making her go back in the garage.
Yeah, like Bella, like she was going to go, "What are you doing with Mom?"
Right. It's just that's bothered me watching that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's like when I heard it on the news that she was missing, I remember looking at my dad and going, "Well, I hate to say it, but she's gone, and so are the kids, and they're going to find her." And I basically told my dad where they were going to find them, and it just creeped my dad out.
I remember you telling me that, Kel.
I I just said that poor woman, and I said the girlfriend had something to do with it.
And the cops, I don't know why they just made it so easy for her. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, they interrogated her,
I didn't think
but
they
they
had
had
enough proof. They didn't have. I mean, they
right,
had that little clip of video, but like I said, that's not enough to go on though.
right,
They knew it was somebody, but they can't 100% say that was the witch.
right.
So I think that's what it was. They need more evidence, not circumstantial.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It'll come out. They'll
Well,
let.
if that idiot thinks they're going to give him a new trial, I mean, is he really that stupid?
Who?
That old Chris Watts. I don't even want to say the bastard's
No,
name.
he ain't with no time. Okay. Why would he do that?
Well, he's thinking he's going to.
Nah, nah, nah.
Yeah, he's not going to get me.
Well, we're gonna see him off the fucking podium, man. He's an evil man.
Did you not say that Ghost Adventures went to Joe Exotic's place and did
Mhm.
a ghost hunt there, and they said that
Carol
they
Baskin.
got some EVPs that Carol Baskin killed her husband?
Well, yes and no, because I don't know. Like they heard one said, "I'm here," and it was a male voice. So I don't know when they were
Mm.
asking about Carol Baskin's husband. Um, but yeah, it was during the pandemic. It's in one of the newest episodes where Zach Still's going ghost hunting during the pandemic, but he's being real careful.
Right. I'm going to have to figure out what those bigger screens are for
What bigger screens?
on the lives on in here. I agree, Phoenix. He was effing nuts.
Are we talking about Joe, whatever his name is?
Exotic.
I thought Carol Baskins was stupid because she's like, "Hello, kitties," and whatever. I can't stand her.
Hello, cats and kittens. Well, what was she said? Cats and kittens.
Something like that. I can't take her. I'm sorry. And then she was on like Dancing with the Stars. I'm like, really?
What?
Yeah, they put her as a like she was, one of the stars that someone danced with, and she like danced to "Eye the Tiger," and I was like,
Please tell me they drove turn round one.
I think round 3, but I didn't really watch it.
Oh my God. I've heard it all now.
Yeah, I think AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys were on that season too. I watched it for
Oh my
him.
God.
I watched the highlights with him on it. I didn't really care about her.
But you seen her dancing on there?
Yeah, it was stupid.
Wow.
I think she killed her husband.
Daggone right she did. And from what I was watching of the Joe Exotic stuff where they've been breaking down his trial,
Mm-hmm.
they have evidence. They're getting very close, is what the detective said, to charging her.
What, Carol?
Yes.
They need to.
They've got more people that's coming out that worked at that place, that Big Cat Rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Got rid of that grinder.
Yeah, she sold the grinder. Did you know that?
Yeah, she put it.
But first she was saying that she didn't even have a grinder.
Yeah. Never owned one, but she did.
But the Ann McQueen woman was the one that Don Lewis had made his power of attorney and was over all his business transactions and stuff. And she specifically said she saw that grinder.
But you know what? She basically fed him to the tigers.
Either that or he's underneath that septic tank like I think that she fed him to the tigers. I don't think they're going to find him in no septic tank. But if they do, they do.
They're not going to find him. Sorry if you guys hear my dog in the background. She's snoring. I should wake her up. She's kept me up all day and part of last night.
Let me tell you, Kel wanted to take a nap today, and Ruby wouldn't let her. So earlier when we was talking, she looked behind her. She said, "That's it. Look at this. She's laying there asleep. I just started to wake her up."
I'm going to wake her
What?
ass up. That's what I said.
Yes.
I said, Rhoda, look at this shit. I should wake her ass up.
And it's just the way she said it. You had to see her face. She was like just in disbelief that her dog had went to sleep. And I told her, I said, she's going to wait till she knows you're up and then she's going to lay down. And that's exactly what she did. And Kel's like, oh no, you kept me up. You're not getting your rest either.
Now she's
I was just watching Paranormal Caught on Camera on the Discovery Plus.
Mm-hmm.
It was showing these big black rings in the sky that was over several countries that it showed.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady's like, oh, that's from where they was letting pyrotechs off. I don't see that.
No, I think it was alien activity.
Yeah, honey, let me tell you, this dog we've got, I love her to death. She snores like a human. I mean, big snores.
Pugs do.
She rattles the floors when she snores.
Yeah, pugs do. I mean, you can hear her. She sounds like a grown man. Damn, Ruby. Doing a live.
We was gonna go to Cades Cove today and look around, but time my daughter came and got my grandson, it would have been too late to go, so maybe tomorrow we'll go. And
I want to go to Black Hill Cemetery. It's like 5 minutes away from me. And it's called the Strouds Creek Massacre, where in 1796, a group of Native Americans scalped a headhunter's family.
oh wow.
Mm-hmm. And my friend and I went there and basically caught some EVPs, and one sounded like a cowboy type thing, and went, "Oh, Michelle."
Hey, I meant to tell you earlier, you know when I told you that Katie was playing around the Ouija board earlier and acting stupid, and she's going to scare her dad and act like she got possessed.
Yeah.
Right when I was telling her, get out of there, right this second, girl.
Is your dog
My
getting
dog's over there. She's over there messing. No, you know better. And right when I told her, I said, look, I said, you do what you want, but if I was you, I wouldn't be playing around with nothing like that because you probably done opened something up. You're not going to open up. My coffee cup went boom and busted all over the floor.
Yeah. That
So
was,
I pissed something off.
I think your energy was pissed off, so it knocked the cup. It was you had some PK stuff going on.
What? What?
Oh,
Come
and
here.
I don't know how much you guys know West Virginia. There's a lot of places around here where West Virginia was more native land.
Uh-huh.
But, when there is a battleground here near me, Carnifax Ferry. And it's like a picnic ground area now. The field it's still a big field with nothing in it, but down towards the end of the field, they put like a picnic type area and a playground for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the house is still there where they fought in between the house. And it's like a museum. You can go in there and it shows like the holes in the wall that show you little bullets and the letters when people were like fighting there and stuff. And I remember it was my niece's birthday party because my sister had one of her birthday parties there. And it was during the day, and I just kept like my brain was just, when I see spirit, it don't matter. I zone out and not be with you for a while. And my friend was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What are you staring at?" I'm like, "Do you really want to know?" And what I was getting was residual energy. It's kind of like if you have one of those flip books, on layers on top of each other. Like I was seeing like the past, but it was also the present laying on top of it. So it was like I was seeing the battle while everybody in still present. It was kind of cool, and I was trying to tell him about it, and he's like, "Oh, you quit talking about those boogans." So
Let me tell you, I got to tell you a story. My mom and dad used to live in these apartments years ago when my brother and I were kids, right? And where these apartments are built is over a graveyard. They literally just took the headstones up, left the bodies there, and they built apartments over top of it, okay?
they normally do that.
And the headstones are still up in the woods to this day, where they just took them up and piled them up.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I was like maybe 18 years old. My brother was 17. He had been out running around with his friends. Well, my older brother had brought a telescope over, and it was right around the fall, and it was up on a hill, and there was woods all around it, and you could go out there at night and you could hear voices, and,
Mhm.
it was like moaning and crying sounds. Well, my brother had came in, and I'd come out of my bedroom, and I asked my dad, I said, where did my brother go? And he's like, he went out back to look at that telescope. Well, I had on one of those long, old-timey nightgowns, and the wind was blowing that night, so it was already eerie feeling. I wasn't thinking nothing about it. I just went out the front door and walked around the sidewalk to the back. My brother turned around, and he said all he saw was it looked like I was floating towards him, and where my hair was blowing in the wind, it didn't look like me. It scared him so bad. He could not move. He cocked his arm back, and he's like, I started to hit you. I said, you wasn't going to do anything but stand there and piss all over yourself. Honey, we still talk about that to this day. He said he was so scared he couldn't move. He was like froze. You know how you get in those moments to where you're frozen, you can't move?
Yeah.
Here a few months ago, we had the garage door open and Kimmy was out there doing something. I thought, now is my time. I'm going to scare her good. I put on a mask and I come around the side of that garage right there. And as soon as she saw me, honey, it was like she was running in place for a minute. All you saw was her legs moving. Then all of a sudden she just took off and was on top of those stairs. She ran in the house and she said, "What's wrong with you?" She said, "You shouldn't do that to me." Phoenix says she's going to pee on herself. Phoenix, we play tricks on each other all the time around here.
Oh my God.
Phoenix, you got to go on my channel. You got to go look up that. It's the Bloody Mary prank. It's called the Bloody Mary doorbell prank. It's got the Bloody Mary video in there where me and my daughter Ashley had scared my daughter Kimberly.
I remember
You gotta
that.
watch that. It's hilarious. We scared the life out of her. She about yanked the bathroom door off trying to get out of there.
Oh my God. I mean, do you know that that's an urban legend? Like, they don't really know where it originated from.
Bloody Mary.
Yeah, I mean, because it's basically an urban legend, like the Slender Man, right?
Right.
But people say when they say Bloody Mary in a mirror, they can see a reflection of a girl that's all bloody. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. I was in 6th grade and I went into one of the bathrooms, turned the light off that didn't have a window. And, me being not realizing that I was sensitive back then, like I am now. Because I realized I thought everybody saw things like I did. So I was saying Bloody Mary with my friends, and I was the only one that saw something. And I was just like, ooh, because I, I just called a spirit. Like, because, mirrors are portals.
Right.
And it it didn't look like a girl that was all bloody, but it looked like a girl that had like long dark hair and she didn't have no eyes. And after that point, for the longest time, every time I was in the bathroom taking a shower or in the tub, I would want to hurry up, get the hell out of the bathroom because I didn't want something to come out of the mirror.
Right.
So
Hey, that's no joke.
for the longest time, I was afraid of mirrors and would not look in them, didn't want any in my room, didn't. But now I kind of understand it better. But back then, when you're younger, you think of things stupidly.
Right.
But yeah, the Bloody Mary thing isn't like you shouldn't take it lightly because you can get spirits. Oh, speaking of the fact, because I go on one topic to another, so people please forgive me. Zach Bagans has Bela Lugosi's mirror. It's a haunted item because
Really?
Bela Lugosi was into the occult, like into scrying, like contacting spirits through mirrors.
Oh, that's that mirror they can look at and get sick, isn't it?
Mhm.
People get sick, and some of them's had heart attacks looking at that mirror.
And one guy just got in a trance. I remember watching that episode, but I kind of want to go there and look in the mirror because I'm a fan of Bela Lugosi. Even though he was into the spiritual realm, he wasn't evil. He just liked contacting the dead. And do you know Bela Lugosi had an eating disorder? He was very depressed and he was sick and got on some medication. And he was so tall, right? He was like 6'3", 6'4", and he was Austrian. So they typecasted him into like certain monster type roles. And where he got addicted to like narcotics back in those days, got really skinny, and he died of malnutrition. Bela Lugosi did by him. He was alone, and that mirror was
Wow.
false when they found him. So I think that's why people get sick, is because Bela Lugosi.
Oh, so they think that he that mirror has his attachment on it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And That's my opinion. I think Bela Lugosi's energy, not himself, but his energy is still attached to that. I mean, he was a brilliant actor, but where they typecasted him into those monster Dracula roles, he lived a very sad, lonely life.
Yeah.
But brilliant actor. For his, because I like old movies like that. But I will tell you another story about a mirror, since I'm on that track of mirrors. The Hollywood Roosevelt hotel has Marilyn Monroe's mirror hanging up in the lobby that used to be in her suite. Well, I stayed at the Hollywood Roosevelt, and I looked in that mirror, and I'm like, everyone's saying that Marilyn Monroe's here. She's not. She's not attached to the mirror, but I could feel the energy, like an imprint.
Right.
Not of her exactly, but it was like an imprint of her standing in front of the mirror. Not like her spirit, but energy, like attachment energy. And I remember the bellboy saying, "Boy, I'm glad you're not staying on the floor." And I was like, "Well, why?" And he's like, "Because I don't like to go to the fourth floor." And the hotel, even though ghost hunters went there, the Hollywood Roosevelt doesn't advertise that they're on it. You know.
Wow.
So my sister and I were in our room on the third floor, and we just took a flight from West Virginia to LA, so we had a little bit of jet lag. My sister kind of fell asleep, and I was staring up at the ceiling. It was about 10 o'clock at night. You know, it would be later for West Virginia if I was still in West Virginia. I just couldn't sleep because of the jet lag. Staring at the ceiling and levitating up above me, like it was like, level with me, like nose to nose, was a spirit. And I just remember, because I have this reaction when I see spirits sometimes. I'm like, ugh, just go away, leave me alone. Try to sleep, go away.
Wow.
I don't get scared. I just go, ugh, just go away. Okay, just go. I ain't dealing with you. Go away.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I told my sister about that the next day, and she thought I was full of crap. She's like, "Oh, you were just tired."
Kel hasn't told you that she did a voiceover. Was it Family Guy, Kel?
Yeah, it was around the time that I went out in
Yeah.
2008. I did an episode called Doggone, episode 8, season 8. So I go by McFarlane, is my pen name. It's my Actors Guild name. It's basically my brand, if you could, because I've been going by McFarlane for like 20 years. That's crazy to think of now. But yeah, I did a voiceover because I was a fan of Seth MacFarlane. There's McFarlane in my family tree. But
Ooh, I just seen something on here that Southern Belle, she said, whose mic is making noise? And I guess that was a while ago. She said it sounds like a demon. I didn't hear no noise.
it was
Did you?
probably mine, where because I took my phone off the tripod, it probably made noise.
Okay.
Because I heard it, like I heard a static thing when I took my phone off the tripod, because I wanted to kind of lay down in bed, being lazy.
Kel, you remember I told you about the when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter,
Wendy?
about the man in the closet? You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, my brother called me from Atlanta the other night, and he said, "Sis," he said, "do you remember that time you saw that man in the closet and you screamed and you never would sleep in that room again?" I said, "Yeah, I remember it just like it was yesterday." He said, "Well, do you remember about a month or two after that, my brother and my cousin had came in and they wanted to go in there and watch TV. Well, they all ended up going in there, piling up and watching TV. Well, I guess the TV had turned itself off somehow while they were laying there. All I heard was screaming. I looked up and they was all fighting each other to come out of that room." He said, "I was just thinking about that the other day, and my brother lives in his house looks like a dang mansion."
He's got
And
a
he said, He said, I'm scared to death. He said, I got up and turned every light on in the house. I said, why do you think your home is haunted? He said, well, he said, I don't even want to start talking about it. He said, because I'll freak myself out. He said, but there's been some things going on here. Well, when we had went down there about a year or so ago,
Ruby.
um, Southern Belle, you have a channel. I'm gonna have to go sub to you, honey.
I don't have anything on the channel that I'm on right now, which is Kel McFarlane. I don't have anything on here yet, but I got one too. But I just use the Crypt Keeper's Haunt now.
Me and my mom both. She's very religious, and we was walking around looking at all the rooms, and Mom said, I don't want to hurt your brother's feelings. She said, but I've always felt uneasy when I come here. And we went down in the basement, and we was finding all kinds of weird things. And I'm like, brother, I said, do you know the history of this house? And he's like, well, I know some of the history of it, but I don't want to talk about it because it'll freak Mom out. So evidently some things that went on there before they bought that place, and
Well,
he just didn't want to discuss it.
if he ever wants to,
Phoenix says she's found 3 of Kel's channels.
yeah, they kicked me off of 2 of them. I don't know why, but it's when YouTube did its little. I tried to post my voiceover on Family Guy and from when I was on Family Guy, and I had permission from Fox and Family Guy to post it on YouTube, but YouTube still took it down and blocked me, so I had to make like.
Are you serious? That's crazy.
I even showed YouTube like the email where I had permission.
Wow, I mean, it was your voice on it. My God.
I get paid for that. I still get paid for that. Ain't very much, but I still get paid for that.
Really?
I still get it. I'm in the Actors Guild.
Who on here watches the 1,000-Pound Sisters? Do any of you guys watch
Lord,
it?
why are you mentioning those 2?
Phoenix said she subbed to them all.
Okay, cool.
Kel don't want me to bring up the 1,000-Pound Sisters. They rub her the wrong way. Anyway, guys, I've watched them for a few years now, and the one sister, I'm not gonna say no names, but the one sister, she's on a road to destruction. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I have.
No, that's the younger one.
Amy.
Mm-hmm.
They both rub me the wrong way. Anyway, yeah, they're.
Well, like I said, I mean, if you'd think they'd be a little bit more professional, they're going to go on national TV instead of sitting there burping and farting and.
The only
and
that is on Family Guy because it's animated and it's hilarious.
Right? Yeah, stuff like that is funny, but not when you see 2 big, great big women like that. And let me tell you, I will say that I'm proud of Amy. Well, I was. She she went through that surgery trying to do the right thing. Then she got pregnant. But she's using the baby as a crutch now that she can eat all that unhealthy stuff.
And
knowing that the doctor told her to wait 2 years before she thought about getting pregnant. Phoenix says, my grandfather was the last surviving charter member of the Screen Actors Guild. Glenn Evans. Wow.
It's neat.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know? I guess I'm going to shout out to a YouTuber I still follow, but it has nothing to do with the paranormal. Her name's Justine, and she does a lot of like stuff about the iPhones and Nintendos, and she's a very techie person. I like her.
There's quite a few YouTubers I follow. I mean,
last
night when we got off of the live, I was so tired. We was talking a while ago. I was talking to somebody a while ago,
Sure wasn't
on
me.
Katie's channel. That's when I was telling Katie, you know, not to be messing with that Ouija board, not to be playing around with it. Well, there's another girl come on there and was talking with me, and I was telling, she's like, do you ever feel tired? Do you ever feel like, you know, especially if you go on investigations, do you ever feel like something just drains your energy? I said, I did last night. I was so tired. But once I got off of the live, I couldn't go to sleep for nothing.
Oh, I fell asleep.
I was so tired. She said he adopted my mom from the Tennessee Children's Home Society back in the 30s. Wow.
Cool. I love that stuff.
So Phoenix, you got family that lives in Tennessee? Because that's where I lives in Tennessee. My mom's mother, guys, let me tell you her story. If there was ever a true Cinderella story, my mom's it. My mom and had a slew of brothers and sisters when her mother was carrying her. Well, back in those days, they, you know, they didn't do adoptions. They would just take the baby and give it away to whoever wanted to take care of it. Well, when my mother's, wow, Georgia Tan, wow. My mother was born, she had a twin. My grandmother died 3 hours after giving birth to my mom, which, you know, back in those days, they had their kids at home.
Yeah.
Well, my mom was gave to these rich people. Their name was McMurray's. They owned a lot of businesses around here. And when mom started growing up, they treated her literally like Cinderella story. My mom had scrubbed floors with toothbrushes. She had to iron towels and wash rags. It was ridiculous. She could never go nowhere, have friends. The animal was the only friend she had, and she had to babysit her sister's kids, or, you know, her foster sister's kids, but she never knew that, you know, her real mother had died. Well, when she was 17 years old, mom was able to start, you know, going to the movies with the neighbor's kids. Well, mom and her neighbor walked down to, it was called the Princess Theater back then. And mom said they walked into this little restaurant and this guy was looking at her, and mom noticed him looking at her, and she's like, well, who's that guy back there looking at me? And her friend said, don't pay him no attention. Let's go. We got to leave. And mom's like, well, I didn't, if that's your boyfriend, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to flirt with him. And she's like, no, Dorothy, it's nothing like that. Well, the next day, that girl motioned for my mom to come across the street to her house. And mom went over and she said, Dorothy, she said, you remember that guy looking at you yesterday? And mom said, yeah, why? She said, it wasn't about him being my boyfriend. She said, there's something you need to know. And my mom looked at her real strange and she's like, well, what is it? She said, that was your oldest brother. And mom said, well, you're out of your mind. She said, I don't have no brothers. She said, you do too. And she said, you got more than that. That one. You got a whole slew full of brothers and sisters.
What's your dog doing? She's
And my dog,
mm-hmm.
he was, I don't know. She's over laying down now.
I hear
But
her or huffing or something.
oh, it might have been this you heard. But anyway, mom said, well, I want to meet this guy. So she took my mom down to the theater, to that little restaurant connected onto it, and she went in. She said, are you my brother? And he started crying. He said, yes, I am. He always kept up with my mom from the day she was gave away all those years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he told her, he said, this is what happened. Your real mother died when she had you 3 hours after she gave birth to you. She passed away. My mom, I mean, it made her go, you know, she lost her mind. She's like, what? You know, to find out that the family that raised her wasn't her real blood family. So her brother took her in, right? Took her home. And my mama was standing by the door and she's like, who was that strange man that let you out? She knew who it was. And mom said, you know who that was? Mama said, no, I don't. She said, that's my brother. And she looked at her mom and she's like, when was you going to tell me the truth? And she said that Mama started crying and told her Well, we was waiting till you was older. But that my mom has never felt the same all those years, knowing that she never got to meet her mother, that her daddy gave her away. And then, it bothered her because she couldn't understand why. Why did he give her away? And I said, well, Mom, he might have gave you away because he couldn't take care of you. He didn't know how. Because back in those days, the mothers did all the work,
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, my mom is a good woman, boy.
Yippee. And I know a lot about Rhoda's family, but
Yeah. Some of it I don't like to talk about.
Yeah, but I think, wouldn't you want to? I mean, you outed me with the Family Guy thing. Do you want me to tell people that you're related to Linda Carter?
Well, I don't mind so much that. I just don't.
I'm not.
I don't want to own up to being kin to
Well, we ain't
Nick and
going there.
Aaron Carter.
Well,
They're not as they seem, guys. So if you like Nick and Aaron Carter, they're not good old boys. Let me tell you.
But Linda is a sweetheart.
She is.
Oh,
She is. And my mom and her looked like twins back in the day.
Did you watch the new Wonder Woman?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
She kind of makes an appearance. There's a Linda.
Does she really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't play Wonder Woman, but she's.
Phoenix's mom grew up in Hollywood. She said, wow, I bet she got to meet all kinds of people up in the movie industry. Huh, Phoenix?
I got to meet a few celebrities, but Seth MacFarlane is my favorite. He's the sweetest person ever. Just love him.
You know who I would have loved to have met?
Who?
Not only because they was a beautiful person, but just because of his personality too. Patrick Swayze. I loved him.
He is the ghost now, isn't he?
Yes. Honey, let me tell you, when that man died, I bawled my eyes out because I felt like I knowed him all my life. And I thought, man, it just took a hold of him so quick, too.
The only celebrity that I actually cried over that died was Frank Sinatra because I felt a very big connection.
Right. And I don't know if you guys have heard of Angry Grandpa. I loved Angry Grandpa, too. I felt like I knew him. It's about time they put Linda in a Wonder Woman movie. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's called WW84, the new movie. Do you have anybody that has HBO Max? Because you can get it for free on HBO Max. You don't have to go to the theater. Watch it. It's really
well, I can get it for free on my Fire Stick.
Yeah, find it. I think you'd like it. But
no, I can watch anything that's at the movies or anything that's coming up on the movies because where they play it in other countries first. A lot of times, I get to watch it on my Fire Stick for free.
Yeah, because you got yours jailbroken. I had mine.
That's why I told you, Miss Kell, you need to let me get your Fire Stick.
Well,
I love Younger Grandpa Phoenix.
Have you guys watched The Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
Girl. Oh my God. Hey, Phoenix, have you watched Kel?
Do you know how
Kel despises those people? They live up there close to her, guys. And let me tell you, she calls me one day and she said, damn you, Rhoda. She said, we was just talking about old Sue Bob and them. And she said, guess who I ran into in the dang store? I said, who? She said, that big mouth Mamie. She said, I could not. She said, as soon as I seen her, I knew it was her. And if you've watched the oh my God, Dancing Outlaws where it started from, okay? And then it went from what was it, Kel? The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. You guys got to watch this show. They usually play it on Showtime. Kel, I can't believe you brought that up.
Well, the other reason I brought it up is one of them died.
Oh shit! Which one?
One that went to jail that had the big mouth.
Brandon. Was it one of the girls?
Yeah.
Oh no! Really?
It was the one that was the stripper who thought she was hot shit.
Sue Bob.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Really?
Mm-hmm.
She had just got in a car wreck here a while back. Oh my God, honey, let me tell you. Durkee has a thing on Facebook, okay? And he says he's making a Wild and Wonderful Whites Part 2. And he's having people send all this money to his Facebook to get this movie started, that he's going to film it, but he wants people to buy his cameras and all this stuff. Well, this one lady said, son, she said, you did the same thing a year ago when you supposed to start this movie and you got over a $6,000 sent to you. She said, where'd that money go? And somebody else posted, but it probably went on their crack habit they had. I'm like, oh my God. But
Oh, the only other reason
what was suggested to you on YouTube, Phoenix? Let me tell you. Anyway, Sue Bob had just been in a car wreck, right? And she won all kind. Oh, I think it's like $150,000 is what she got awarded. And she's talking about how that was her last night going to be there in West Virginia, that she is going to Hollywood and she's going to make it big out there. She literally pulls her pants down and she's got dope or something in her crotch, and you can see it. Dwayne's like, oh my God. He said she needs to go buy her some new drawers.
do you want to know?
You can see it. Oh, I'm like,
Do you want to know? One of them tried to add me to Facebook, and I was like,
the Dancing Outlaw, Phoenix.
How many hours have you been?
That's the story of Jessica White's daddy. Now, Jessica White's daddy was a good man.
you know,
And when they killed him, Jessica took up in his daddy's footsteps and started doing the dancing. And that family is loco, boy. Let me tell you.
do you know Jeff Coe? Does Phoenix or anybody watch Squidbillies? Because Jeff Coe plays early Kyler's dad, Peepaw.
Well, do you know Hank Williams Jr.'s son goes on there? He's on that show with him.
Yep. I like Squidbillies, but you can tell when Jeff Coe is reading the script, because you can tell by the way he's like, you know, I'm your Peepaw, right?
Yeah, Squidbilly, she said. Phoenix, you've got to look up the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. And the next time we do a live, I want you to tell us what you thought about that movie and those people. They're almost neighbors of Kel's.
Yeah, from like one of them lives in Beckley, West Virginia, and I live in Nicholas County, and Raleigh County, where Beckley is like right beside me. So
yeah, and they shop at the same stores.
Don't
she said,
remind
you have to curse me with them, because I told her, I said, Kel, you got to go watch this show. I said, you know, I know, because she knew who I was talking about. I said, MTV made a documentary about them. I said, you got to go watch this. I said, those people have lost it. Then Mamie gets mad, and she goes on a radio broadcast, pissed off at Johnny Knoxville, telling that that they felt like that they screwed them over. You know, they wasn't getting no royalties from the show or nothing, because Johnny Knoxville had bought them $250 worth of pills. and they kept them high all the time. That's why, you know, they got them high so they'd go around acting crazy. And I'm like, wow, man.
But no, I think they didn't get any royalties from it because they're too stupid to know how to sign a damn contract.
Right. Well, that's what I'm you know, that boy Durkee is going on. We're making a Wild and Wonderful Whites too, and I'm like, okay. And if you donate, you get the free movie. We're gonna send you a free movie. I'm thinking, you're gonna send all these people that's donating money to you a free movie. I don't see it.
Oh, I was going to another subject we should talk about next time that we have a live, and I think, you know, everybody might like this one. Do you know that there is a mining town in West Virginia that's kind of like a ghost town now? It's called the Keymore Mine. I talked about it on Weave once.
Wow.
And it's like really close to me. It's the New River Gorge Bridge, you know, longest bridge where people bungee jump off of in West Virginia.
Oh, heck with that. I ain't gonna be doing no bungee jumping.
But what I'm saying is, like, that town is right over that bridge on the hill. You can actually see the coke stack still from the mining part.
Hey, speaking of that, did you see that video on Paranormal Caught on Camera? And I think it's the same bridge they're saying that the Mothman was on.
Yeah, the Ohio.
They was a guy sitting there watching this. It looked like I mean, you really couldn't tell if it was a person. That there was a being underneath that thing while people was walking on top of that bridge. And this thing was climbing underneath it. I mean, just like it was just doing its own thing.
Yeah, that was the Ohio Bridge. Point Pleasant, West Virginia was part before it was founded by you know, the white settlers. It was owned by native, and the native tribes chief cursed the land. And like, people want to debate if the Mothman is either a Native American curse or an alien, and I think it's an alien for the sheer fact that I talked to people that was around back then that said they met the Men in Black.
Wow. Guys, excuse me. I got to take some more goody powders. My head's wanting to hurt again.
Well, sorry that, sissy, but the Men in Black came to West Virginia and was talking to people back then, and they were asking about the so-called bridge collapse and the sightings of the Mothman. And when they would confront people, instead of saying "see you later," they'd say "see you in time." They would basically not shake your hand. They would wear sunglasses at night because they were the Men in Black. If you read Project Blue Book, they are a species of aliens that look more humanoid, but their eyes look different. That's why they wear.
That's why they wear their glasses. Yeah. I've heard that.
And they're not like you would think. They threaten people more, not like they're going to kill you, but they try to put fear in you so you won't stop talking about certain things that happen. And people said they felt threatened. And then there was this other, like, if you ever even watched the History Channel Project Blue Book, it talks about a lot of West Virginia because West Virginia is like a hot spot for activity.
Right.
And in Flatwoods, which is like an hour away from where I am, you had the green-eyed monster. And I didn't know about this one, but my grandma's the one who told me about it.
Phoenix said she heard the same thing about the Men in Black.
I've and now they're in pop culture, thanks to Will Smith. But anyway,
Phoenix, when this live is over, I'm going to go sub to you. I didn't know you had your own channel, honey.
Well, since she subbed to all mine, I probably got a notification because this one I'm talking on now, like, The one I
Where's
use.
Miss Southern Belle? Is she still in here?
I don't know if
Hey
Zach.
guys, I was telling Kel earlier, I don't know how you guys like that spirit box, but that white noise, I hate it. I'm gonna use my I've got an amplifier that I actually bought 2 of them because I was gonna make one of those echo boxes or a portal box if you want to call it that. But it's gonna take away that not that white noise. And we'll be able to use the spirit box more. What the thing is with the spirit box, when I turn that on, where Kel is a sensitive, and she's got the spirits over there in her ear, you know, going on with her, and I've got them coming through the spirit box. It's too much for her. It's an overload.
It's always been an
Yeah.
but
Oh, does she?
I think it'd be cool to talk about like the paranormal stuff in West Virginia on a next broadcast because we also have the Lake Shawnee amusement park haunted. I've been to it. Well, not me. My friends have been to it, and I've seen pictures that they took of orbs and stuff. But there's also the we'll call it the loony bin, the Weston Lunatic Asylum, the Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Now, we had Eastern State here, and they closed it down. Now, they've recently tore that building down, but people still been going there doing paranormal investigations,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy the evidence they've been catching.
Yeah, didn't Zach Bagans go to Eastern State?
Mm-hmm.
See, and then he did Bell Witch in the same, like did the little, isn't there a bridge nearby there too that's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be haunted? See, there's a lot of stuff, even in West Virginia, like, okay, in Summersville, West Virginia, there was a town called Gad. Okay. And they actually dammed it up and made it the Summersville Lake or the Summersville Dam. And they couldn't call it Gad Dam.
No pun intended.
No,
Huh?
that's why they started calling it Summersville Dam. And every time I go swimming, like one of my friends went swimming there once, and he's like, "Did you touch my foot?" I was like, "No." There was a spirit under the water, and he thought it was a fish.
Ooh.
Because I'm wondering, because they dammed that town up, so there was like cemeteries and stuff like that.
Wow.
Probably didn't move the bodies.
Let me tell you, Kel. We had a friend that went missing. God, it's been about 20, 30 years ago, I guess. But anyway, he went missing, and people actually thought he just moved to another state. Well, there was this place that my parents used to take us to. My mom called it Mama's Paradise because it was so beautiful back in there. And she would always call it her paradise, so we would call it Mama's Paradise. But it was actually called the Pines.
Yeah.
Well, people would go back in there because it was such a beautiful place, and the water was just, ocean blue. It's just real pretty. They had went back there and go camping. Well, these kids, there's like a dock you can run and jump off of to get in the lake. Well, these kids, was excited. It was summertime. They had, he'd been missing, I guess, about 6, 7 months. That little boy ran and jumped off, and where whoever killed him had weighted his legs down with bricks, and where he had been there that long. And when that kid jumped into the water, I guess the force of the water knocked him loose to where his flesh had done rotted. He floated up on the little boy's back. Yes, that kid like that. They had to put that kid in therapy. They had pictures of it. They had pictures of the little boy, but pictures of the lake and stuff when they had found him. But yeah, can you only imagine? And ever since that happened, I have been terrified to go swimming in the lake because I thought, oh Lord, I love doing the paranormal, but I would literally die right then and there if something was come floating up on me.
Well, like, I don't think that anyone stayed in that town and kind of like drowned or anything. But I think it's just the spirits in Summersville Lake. I can feel the energy because, water brings energy, right?
Yeah.
And it's just when I go boating on my sister's boat, I went there like on her boat once and just went around the lake. I was just like, okay, I feel a lot of energy. And every time I go to that lake, I just feel like, because there's a swimming part to where the road to enter that town was. And there's a swimming hole. And when they drain it for the winter, you can actually see the road go in, but where the water is coming up, it's like
That's crazy.
I take a picture and show you. But it was like really weird because I was swimming, but because I went in the water, because you could just walk down this road and the water would start deep, right? And there's a little bit of a drop off, not really a drop off, but you could tell when the road kind of goes down like the hill. And I'm like, I don't like going down a road that used to be in a town that's now a dam.
Right.
It just kind of freaked me out. But
Now, Pill, there's a place I'd love to get you down here and take you to.
mhm,
It's called Hell's Bar Dam.
I've heard of it.
Now, when they was building that place,
Mm-hmm.
they was two employees that got into it with each other. One had went to knock. They was pouring the cement to make the walls of the dam, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one knocked the other guy over. Well, the guy grabbed onto him and thought, well, if I'm going to go, you're going to go with me. And it killed both of them. And to this day, because they couldn't get them out of that cement, they wasn't going to go tearing that wall down that they put all that money in building.
They're still,
So they're still there.
yeah, it's
And you
like,
can sense their presence when you go to Hell's Bar Dam.
do you know there's still like, okay, in West Virginia here, there's some railroad tunnels that are decommissioned, on people's property. And there's one that one of my friends was wanting to take me to, that slaves helped build, back in the day. And when the slaves would kind of collapse, die of exhaustion while building these, they would just kind of cement them in.
Wow.
So he kind of wanted to take me down this tunnel one. I didn't get to go. I kind of still want to. And he said because when you go down in there halfway, it feels like you're in nothing but darkness, and then you can start hearing like chisels and stuff, like they're still working, like residual energy.
Right.
Because, these railroad tunnels, because West Virginia, we don't use the railroad like that anymore. Like they even took the railroad thing from this area out completely. Trains only go to Charleston now, and down this way. And there was one time that I was outside my house, and there used to be a train station like maybe 5 minutes down the road by car from me, right? And all of a sudden I just heard this train whistle, like the spirit train.
Yeah.
And let's just say the spirits on my property in Amberley just went and gone.
Wow.
She was like, no, thank you. And I asked around because, people collect those train whistles.
Right.
And I was asking all the neighbors, and I said, do you have a train whistle? Because I heard this, because I investigate things before I go, okay, it's paranormal.
Right.
Because even though I'm a sensitive, I try to.
You got to debunk when
Yeah, I
you're doing
gotta
paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
We do that a lot.
I want to make sure that my spidey sense, and it kind of confirms things too when I ask questions.
Yeah, Phoenix, that wall, when, if you ever look up videos on Hell's Bar Dam,
Mm-hmm.
quite a few of the YouTubers have went there. That's something that I want to go to this summer. that place is crazy. You get to go in there, and they will let you do an overnight in there. And there's also, I mean, they was little girls used to have to walk to school, and they would take the dam when they was building it. They would walk that way. Well, two of the little girls had fell in the river and drowned, and their spirits are still in Hell's Bar Dam, and they let you know that they're there. Phoenix said, West Virginia, isn't that Hatfield territory?
Partly, the Hatfield boy was like on the border of Kentucky and West Virginia. My eye doctor is actually a Hatfield.
Wow.
He's related to them because when I'd go to the eye doctor, one time I had this Star Trek shirt on. He's like, "Oh, who's your favorite character?" And I went, "Dr. McCoy." He's like, "Get out of mall." To be funny.
Hey, let me tell you, we was investigating this cemetery. It's called Lyndhurst Cemetery up in Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
And I was being drawn to this grave. And I got to looking at it, and it said Hatfield. And I said, oh my God, I said, are you kin, to some of the Hatfields that was into it with the McCoys? And it came back, I sure am. You have a problem with it. And I looked at my husband, I'm like, did you just hear that?
Yeah,
I said, the spirit just said it was kin to him.
the eye doctor's was over, and everybody thinks it was like over a girl, because it was a few things. It wasn't only one of the Hatfields fell in love with the McCoys, but it was over a freaking pig.
Are you serious?
So the rumors that the Hatfields say it was over someone killed someone's pig.
Oh, yeah, they did have that in that show.
Mm-hmm.
They was arguing over a dang pig.
That's
And the guy saying that he knew it was his pig because he had notched his ear out.
yeah, and they're like, no, it wasn't, and that's how they say it was. But there's also in Kentucky, since we're talking about the paranormal, and I'm kind of going around the states around me, if you noticed. In Kentucky, besides Bob Mackey's, do you know there's the Kelly Farm?
No, I didn't
Kelly
know that.
like it's in Hopkinsville, and they had a UFO. You should look that up.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Because basically they had an encounter with aliens. It's a big case.
Oh, wow.
And it's mentioned in Project Blue Book. And this I think I've mentioned it before, but I don't know if I mentioned it on your live. But in Project Blue Book, if you guys like Star Trek, like me, I'm a nerd. But the guy who created Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry, he worked on Project Blue Book.
Something's playing games with me. My lighter's gone, and it was laying right there.
Fairies took it. Anyway, so Gene Roddenberry worked on Project Blue Book, so he got some of his ideas for his show, Star Trek, from Project Blue Book.
Well, I'll be doggone.
She's talking about her lighter, y'all, not what I just said.
Floyd Hatfield stole Randall's pig, is what Phoenix said.
Yes. But, like, some people think it's where one of the Hatfields fell in love with one of the McCoys, like the Romeo and Juliet story.
Right.
It wasn't really over that, even though one of them did fall in love with the other and didn't care that.
And see, that's something right there I could get into. I love history stuff, and I was always a big fan of that. When I heard about the Hatfield and McCoys, that is that's a whole new thing all in itself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that went down with that family
started over a pig.
Exactly, that is so crazy.
Well,
so many people lost their lives over a
less.
stinking pig.
Well, people's fought over less.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I mean, there's just so many paranormal stories that you guys can look up. Like, okay, like I've mentioned, I think on one of our lives, I talked about how my family has a connection with Moundsville Penitentiary. My grandfather got caught selling moonshine and spent a year in Moundsville Penitentiary in 1931 before my grandma was born. And then my grandma, when my aunt Barbara died, she got put in Weston for 60 days.
Oh, wow.
So I got connections to both of those places.
Well, you know, when I did that video on Brushy Mountain,
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne was put in there when he was 18 years old. And that is a part of his past that he would rather forget because it was really hard on him, you know.
Yeah, I would say
But
so.
he knew, like I said, I got to meet James Earl Ray. And when that man took my hand, he said, "I guess you've heard about me." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, I just want to let you know something." He said, "I didn't kill Martin Luther King." He said, "I was in the wrong place at the wrong time." He said, and they throw that on me, but I was just reading the other day that they proved that he didn't kill Martin Luther King. And I said,
Yep.
that's great if they proved that, because that man professed his innocence all that time. And, he'd even told them, "Look, I didn't kill him. I want a new trial."
I don't
Uh,
think it was some other hater. I mean, they even proved where that hotel or that apartment building was. They tried to recreate where the motel's still standing, but not the apartment buildings that so-called the shooter was in. And it's like who killed John F. K. That one's
I'm glad you did enjoy it, Phoenix. I enjoyed making it. I'm wanting to go back and do an overnight challenge there, but $1,000 is a little steep in my opinion, especially when they was some favoritism showed to other YouTubers and they got in free.
Yeah, it's like I want to go to the Weston Asylum, but it's $1,000. But I got to go to Moundsville Penitentiary for like nothing.
Yeah, Phoenix, he proclaimed that he didn't kill him. And, and that day that man held my hand and he said that.
You could feel it.
I could feel it, that he was telling the truth. And a lot of people that I've told that to looked at me like I was stupid. I'm like, "Look, I'm telling you, that man was telling the truth. I could see it in his eyes that he was being honest about it."
I don't think
She
he
said
did.
that Judge Lowe Brown says Ray did not kill Martin Luther King.
No,
Judge
he
Joe
didn't.
Brown.
Yep.
But
I mean,
anyway, that was crazy. They had put those fences up that you see inside the prison. Those didn't used to be there. They had thrown James Earl Ray off of them at one time after they had stabbed him 6 times with a shank that they had laying in a bucket with pee and poop. That's what gave him hepatitis.
yep. Like even in West Virginia Penitentiary, they have some of the gates up where you can't go.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some places in West Virginia Penitentiary that's actually, ooh, my ear started ringing. There's like,
Yes. Phoenix said another Patsy like Oswald.
yeah, like the guy who killed JFK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a story that Stephen King wrote about John F. Kennedy, and you guys should read it. It's called 11/22/63, or watch the series on Hulu. But it's actually kind of got some paranormal type qualities because it's like a time travel. It's like a butterfly effect.
Right.
Like what happens if you go and change it? And Oswald, you saved John F. Kennedy. What would happen? And it's
Let me
kind
guys
of
tell you what happened to me last night. I told you I felt real tired last night. We got off the live, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got my grandson asleep. I guess it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. I could not sleep for nothing. I was sitting here and it was pitch dark in here, which usually, because I know my surrounding, I can walk around this house in the dark and never get hurt on anything.
Yeah.
My bag was sitting here with all my equipment in it and I forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
I leaned over to get my Mountain Dew. Honey, I slid, and when I slid, I face planted the wall. I had my glasses up on my head like this, and where the little nose things are,
Mm-hmm.
it crunched into the wall, which crunched into my head, and I've got 2 cuts under my hair right here. I can't even touch my head, it's so sore.
Do you want to know something interesting? Because I've got myself closed off, like, to the
Okay,
spirit,
Phoenix.
to the spirit realm right now. Like, I got my walls up.
Right.
Well, when spirit is trying to contact me, I get like a ringing, like a tendonitis sound in my ear.
Yes.
And I'm getting that right now.
Hell, I had it the other night when we did our first live together, or the second one actually. Girl, I had it the whole time we was sitting here, and both of my ears were like, "Ee," and it just kept doing it and kept doing it. I'm like, my God, please stop.
Yeah, it's like different pitches, and I'm noticing it's different spirits. Like if it's at a higher vibration, it's more like angels or what you
Mhm.
call deities that are contacting me. But if it's a lower frequency, it's more of a human energy.
Right.
Because I don't know if you guys watch Supernatural, but you or have seen it, like, or Phoenix or anyone else has seen it, but in Supernatural, when you hear the angels coming, it's like a real high pitched sound. That's the way my ears are when spirits want to talk to me, and I have myself kind of like, nope, not today.
Let me tell you how connected Xavier and his little brother are.
Okay.
Xavier can feel it when Lyric's upset or if Lyric's crying. The bottom of his foot will start itching or tingling.
Yeah.
He came in here one night and he said, Mama, he said, call Mommy and see if Brother's crying. As soon as I called her, Lyric was pitching a fit, did not want to go to bed. And I said, is that Lyric crying? She said, yeah, why? I looked at Xavier and I said, how'd you know? He said, I told you, I felt it. And I told Wendy what was going on, and she's like, oh my God. She said, that's how close he is to his brother. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I've noticed, and I think Xavier's going to be a sensitive too, Kel, because when we go somewhere,
He knows.
and I can feel a lot of pressure from the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Mine and his ears will both start ringing at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, sis, do you know it's almost 12 midnight?
Yeah. Then let's let Phoenix come back and we'll say goodbye. I want to go in here and watch some I guess try to lay back and watch some of this paranormal caught on TV.
Well, do me a favor and check out Paranormal 911 or
Oh yeah. Is that on there too?
or check out it's called The Night Shift, and it's on the Travel Channel part, and it's about people who work like the hoot owl shift and experience like paranormal stuff.
Yeah, I definitely will.
I like those two things. Lydia.
I don't know where Phoenix went, but she said she'd be right back. So let's let her come in before we sign off.
Yeah, I don't want to leave her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know we went off topic with the Chris Watts. And
We did, but maybe it was meant for that, because I'm gonna tell you that was getting my blood up talking about
Yeah.
him. Phoenix, well, we're glad you're back. We're gonna I guess we're gonna close this out for tonight, and tomorrow I'm gonna see if I can we may use necrophonic tomorrow night
Yeah.
because it don't have that white noise in it. Or I may see if I can get my amplifier working and we can
I
use
think
that.
I'll be good at like contacting spirit tomorrow, because I didn't feel good today, y'all. That's why I didn't want to do a opening, because when I feel crappy.
Well, it's best not to do it when you're feeling crappy anyway.
Yeah, so contact spirit tomorrow. And
But we want to thank everybody that's came in.
or even
And
watch the replay, just if you watch the replay, send a message.
don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. Your thumbs up matters, trust me.
Yeah.
It gets that algorithm out there to where
More people
our
see us.
it's going to start going around, and I can't wait till we get a bigger little crowd in here, and I will start pulling some people up on the panel, and probably when it does start getting bigger, we're going to have to get some moderators in here too. So if anybody's interested in being a moderator, let me or Kel know, because that way we can add you on there. Okay, good. I'm glad you like Necrophonic, Phoenix. Okay, everybody that was here, God bless you. Thank you for coming in and spending your time with us. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys back tomorrow.
Blessed be, guys. Good night.
Good night. Love you, Sissy. Good night, loves.